This has been an ACB community call.
Today's Community Unmuted was recorded when? Let's say it was composed on the 12th of November. Let's try something new.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Unmute. As always, we have some reminders here at the top. We want to remind everyone to please be respectful and let everyone answer their question in the same way you would want your question answered. And remember, there's no dumb questions. Also, if you have questions, when you raise your hand, we're going to take all first questions first. And if we have time, then we'll come back around and take second questions. Wait a sec. This is not live. There are no hands. Michael, what do I do here? I'm confused.
We broke him. Oh, no.
I broke it.
Real quick, we'll go over the content that we've published. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try something a little different today. We're going to play with some AI-based voices that are answering some questions that we've gotten via email. Marty, what's that email?
What's AI voices?
What's AI voices? Oh, AI voices.
Are you going to make like a virtual me again or something?
No, not for you. These are different voices that people have never heard on the show before. Marty, how do they send their questions into us, though?
They can email us at feedback@unmute.show. And for more, you can always check out our website at unmute.show.
And I do recommend, if you want, to go ahead and send in voice clips. And if you send us your voice questions, that gives us permission to use them on the podcast. But this week, even though we haven't been on the Tuesday show, and we stepped away for the rest of the year with Tuesdays, we're, as you can see, still going to have a little bit of fun with it. We are also publishing content. So if you locate the latest episodes heading at unmute.show, you can stay current with our latest episodes, including Digital Bytes, where I show you ways to configure VoiceOver to use an external hard drive or use your settings from an external hard drive. Chris shows you how to turn Dropbox links into automatic download links, so it will automatically download without showing you the Dropbox website. And then Marty answers a question, which, yeah, I use his content and this content as well, but he answered a question where you wrote in and asked, how can I answer or make calls a lot easier? On Friday on JAWS Tips for Beginners, I showed you how to set up and understand the startup options available for JAWS users. And then Braille, and then at your fingertips, I'm going to leave that in there. I thought about editing it, but we'll pretend like it's live. So at your fingertips, Chris shared Braille Buffet with several different random Braille facts you'll want to check out. Adrian showed you how to navigate sound profiles on the Blind Shell Classic 2. And then we published the November 2nd Community Unmuted episode that told you guys we weren't doing these calls live. Marty, before we hand it over to AI and the pre-recorded answers, do you have anything you want to say to listeners?
Yeah. What do I want to say? I don't know.
Thanks for listening. Send us an email.
Thanks for listening. We so appreciate it. And if you want more, you can check out our website at unmute.show. And if you have questions, comments, if you want to email in your questions to have them answered here on this experimental Tuesday project we're working on, you can email us at feedback@unmute.show. And we'll see you next time.
I'm trying to make calling easier, but I get a bit lost on the screen when I'm trying to dial or look through my contacts. Are there ways to simplify making calls, or even ways to call people with just my voice so I don't have to keep scrolling through my phone?
There are easier ways to make phone calls with your voice. The first thing you could do is take people's phone numbers and save them into your contacts. When you do that, you can attach a name to it, and then you could say the person's name. So for example, let's say I put Michael Babcock in the address book with his phone number attached, then I can invoke Siri and say, call Michael Babcock. Or if you would like to email or text, you can do that as well. If you don't know the person, but know the phone number, or you don't have the person's information saved in your contact, you could also invoke Siri and just say, call 123-456-789, and it will then call that phone number that you say, and you can make the call that way. And then later you can go back and you can save that in your contacts with either a name or a company attached to it to make that easier for you in the future. You could also invoke Siri and look for a local business that you're looking for. For example, let's say you're looking for coffee. You find a local coffee shop that's close by that you would like to call. Once Siri gives you that information, it will ask you, would you like to call this location? You say yes, and then it will call for you. And these are some ways you can use your voice to make phone calls.
I really miss the Tuesday community unmute sessions, and now I'm having to listen after the fact via the podcast, since I, along with a number of other participants, am usually unavailable at noon Eastern on Saturdays. Please bring the Tuesday sessions back. So, since I am now unable to join the show live and ask a question, here it is. I have never had good luck with setting navigation style to grouped because it requires using the two-finger left and right flicks. I have assigned those gestures to a different function, specifically controlling the rotor, as I can zip through the rotor much more quickly that way, and haven't found an alternative set of gestures for that function other than reverting to the old-fashioned way of doing it. Do you know right off if there is an alternative means of doing grouped in navigation style? So far, I have managed well without it, since I have been unable to fully utilize it for the reason given above. I look forward to your response, sent from my iPhone.
This is a great question, and I just tried this because I wasn't sure what the right process would be. So if you tell Siri to open VoiceOver settings, once Siri opens VoiceOver settings, access the gestures and then touch gestures. Once you're in there, find some gestures you'd like to assign to the move in and move out actions, especially if you don't want to change the two-finger left or right gesture. You just want to play with this so you can experiment with it. So what I did is I took 4 fingers and I assigned swipe down to be move in and swipe up, again with 4 fingers, to be move out. And I have a weather widget on my home screen. So what I then did once I assigned those gestures is I went back and went to the weather widget on my home screen, used 4 fingers to flick down to interact with it, flicked around, and then when I was done, I flicked up with 4 fingers, which stopped interaction. Kind of a cool little way to do it, actually.
One of our listeners asked about an accessible battery charger or tester. I am unsure which she means, but I wanted to give you a couple of options. There is the Power Owl battery charger, which enables you to use 8 AAA or 8 AA batteries in the charger, and it has slots to accommodate that. There is no accessibility offered here. It doesn't let you know when the batteries are charged. It's just a handy way to put the batteries in the charger and plug it in. But if you want an accessible battery tester, that is another story. And the APH, or American Printing House for the Blind, offers the EZ, those letters, EZ, battery tester, and it gives you audible beeps, 3 beeps for completely full battery, 2 beeps for partially full, and 1 beep for fairly discharged. And this is an option if you would like audible feedback. They also sell a battery tester that has tactile and audio feedback. In case someone is hard of hearing, deafblind, they can use it too.
Hey, Unmute team. I'm trying to keep up with all these updates on my iPhone, but I'm nervous about things breaking, especially my accessibility settings. Is it better to update right away, or should I wait? Any tips on updating safely?
So they're not paying me, but if they want to, hey, be my eyes, just so you know, we can work something out. Anyways, I would recommend checking out a site called Applevis, APPLEVIS.com, around update times. Typically, you can type in the name of an app, or they'll have some news articles about what's going on with the latest iOS operating system updates. That's where I can suggest you go take a look at, is Applevis, APPLEVIS. VoiceOverNavigation.com whenever there's updates. And if you don't see any information, don't hesitate to actually post something on the website asking if other users have experienced the update or what other users are finding to be the case when they update apps. That's one of the things that they say is put your apps on not auto update. I'm guilty of mine auto updating, but you could try that. So listen, we need to know if you like this format. Yeah, I'm going to move my mic like I normally would while we were live. But do you like the way that this turned out? What are your thoughts? Do you have questions you want to send in? We want to hear from you, and we're going to experiment a little bit. So if you want to be part of those tests and experiments, be sure to be a club member, because not this one, but some of the future shows / content we're playing with is going to be available to club members first or only. Unmute.show to join the club. And also, while you're there, we're looking for your tech gift suggestions. So we're putting together a show on Black Friday. It's going to drop on the day after Thanksgiving here in the United States, November 29th. And this is going to be our second annual gift guide suggestion show. So last year we had several people come together and share a tech-related gift in a unique gift, that people might want to think about giving or asking for or getting when it comes to the holidays. So check out unmute.show/gift and submit a quick audio clip with your suggestion for a gift. You can also email your audio to feedback@unmute.show, or if you want to just send in something that we turn into audio, let us know as well. Again, feedback@unmute.show or unmute.show/gift.